Hi Libra, welcome to your June 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. As far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled some oracle cards for you guys and a Mudra card. So we'll get started with the main spread now. In the main situation position, you have the Chariot. This is the major arcana card for Cancer. It represents movement, can also represent victory as well. For you guys, this actually represents your 10th house of career and social status. So for some of you, there could be some forward progress in your work area, possibly even a new offer altogether. Especially you guys had you had the North Node moving through that sign for you for a while, and now it's moved on into Gemini. So maybe there's a new offer that came into play for you guys recently. And on a more mundane level, this can just be saying that you guys are planning on traveling. I know in the US anyway, a lot of restrictions are being lifted, and I feel like everyone just wants to get out and do something, right? So it could even be as simple as that. But yeah, for some of you, this can represent something a bit bigger than that, possibly even moving too, because for you guys, since this is Cancer energy, that's also a 4th house. So maybe some of you guys are actually looking to move homes. Maybe you had that put on delay because of all this uncertainty going on for a while, and maybe now you're actually able to move forward with that. In the Challenger obstacle position, we have the Queen of Wands and the King of Swords. So interesting here, this can represent a relationship for some of you as well, because Queen of Wands represents Aries energy, and that's your opposite sign of partnerships, and then King of Swords representing Aquarius energy, which is your 5th house of romance and creativity. So for some of you, this can say that maybe, you do have the opportunity to pursue a new career path, and it might be a combo deal where, yes, you might have that great job offer, but you might have to move in order to take the offer, and possibly quite some distance as well. And this could just be saying that maybe your romantic partner might not be so warm on the idea, so there could be a bit of a conflict there, where it's like, okay, well, you might be ready to move because you see it as a great opportunity. This person might be digging their feet in a little bit, like, yeah, I don't know if I want to make that move right now. For some of you, this could even represent your energy again, where you have that primal urge to actually get out and do things again, right? But then you're also really thinking about it, like, okay, is it safe to move around yet, right? Is the coast as clear as they're trying to say it is, right? So it could even just represent a bit of overthinking in that regard too. And for some of you, this could even just be saying that maybe there was just a bit of a blockage going for you while Mars was in the sign of Aquarius. So maybe you guys were having maybe you were having a lot of creative ideas, but not necessarily ready to move on them. And maybe now that Mars has moved into Pisces, now you're actually able to take action on them, given that the Pisces energy represents 6th house energy for you guys. So that could be what it is there for some of you as well. In the foundation position, we have the Ace of Wands. So what I always point out with the aces, I always see that hand coming out of the cloud. So to me, that represents something that's more in the idea stage versus actually, physically taking place. And then I also noticed the neutrality of the gray, right? Which is to say that there's opportunity there, but you actually have to take action on it. So for some of you, this could just be saying that this is an idea you've had for a while. And now with that Chariot energy showing up, it could just be saying that now you're finally ready to move on it. And again, like I said, a lot of people were cooped up at home for a while, for the past couple of months, and maybe you've had a lot of great ideas, but just haven't been able to physically act on them. And maybe now you're finally getting that time where you can do so. In the past position, we have the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. So this can be saying that maybe something that you were starting to get off the ground a couple months back, possibly even when that Libra full moon took place. Maybe there was some disappointment there. And again, if this was a romantic relationship, could be as simple as that, right? There might have been someone that you were hitting it off with very well. And then once all these restrictions, the stay-at-home orders and everything went into place, that might have driven a wedge between the two of you. So that could be how it is for some of you. And for others of you, this can just say a blockage, and possibly even with career too, given that this is Cancer energy again, which is your 10th house. And that might have been, again, during around that time of that Libra full moon for most of you, or just, could have just been anywhere in the past, but I'm really feeling like the Libra full moon for a lot of you. Maybe things were put on hold around that time because of the uncertainty, and now maybe they could be moving forward now. And if not now, maybe towards the end of the month as well, given that the sun will eventually move into Cancer towards the end of June. In the present position, we have the 10 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the Justice card. So, on a more basic level, this could just be saying that maybe you get into a partnership with someone that's able to lighten your load a little bit, right? We see the 4 of Wands there. Well, yes, there's more wands, but it doesn't look very comfortable, right? Versus here, we see a lot more comfort, a lot more of a celebratory atmosphere. And then with the Justice, that could be saying that helps restore balance for you, right? So it could go a few different ways. Maybe if there's someone who you've been putting in a lot of the work and someone hasn't been picking up the slack, I can say that maybe that changes around this month. Again, maybe like I said, for those of you who've just been stuck inside for the past couple of months, maybe you've needed some help with some things, but you haven't been able to get that help. Maybe now that clears up for you guys as well. And this actually represents Sag energy, which is for you, also represents your house communication as well. So this could also say that the key to that might be you guys communicating in some way. There is going to be a full moon in Sagittarius in June, and it'll be an eclipse. So this could just be saying that a long, communication that needed to take place for a long time finally takes place, clears the air, and then you get your justice in that regard. You have balance restored. And this could just be saying that you're being celebrated in some way too. Maybe the hard work and dedication you've been putting in finally starts to pay off for you guys, right? With that 4 of Wands energy. And then you see, okay, finally, the work that I've been putting in, finally, it's paid off. In the near future position, we have the Star, which is the major arcana card for Aquarius, and the 2 of Wands. So again, we see that Aquarius and Aries energy, which is interesting. So some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius and or an Aries, but this could also just represent that now you've had a course correction of sorts, right? And in a positive way. To me, I always point out to people that the Star card comes after the Tower card. So maybe you guys might have had some kind of a Tower moment. I feel like collectively, a lot of people feel like they went through a Tower moment with all the uncertainty the past few months. And now, with that 2 of Wands, this just represents you're ready to start over, right? Maybe you realized you weren't on the right path. Maybe before all that time that you had to think things over, right? Maybe that's actually what helped you get clear on what your path needed to be. And now with restrictions lifting, you're finally able to take action on that. I do have to say this does point to another indicator that some of you guys might be moving again too. Just looking at the artwork there, I feel like there could definitely be some moving, especially given that he's looking right towards the Chariot card as well. So some of you, that could be what you decide. Maybe you figure out that, what, maybe living where I am right now is a bit limiting to me and I want to move somewhere else. Could be as simple as that. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Knight of Cups and the Hangman. Interesting energies here. Both of these point to Pisces for me. So there's that, which for you guys is your 6th house of work. So this could just be saying that maybe as you had that Mars transit going through Aquarius, again, like I said, you might have had a lot of great creative ideas, but just didn't have the opportunity to act on them, given that we had all these restrictions, and now you're finally able to let that out and move forward with these ideas. The Hangman, they're representing that, you had plenty of time to think about it, and now you decided, okay, yes, I'm definitely going to move forward in this way. For some of you, this can even represent that, for example, let's say you had a more traditional corporate job, right, before all of this started. You guys ended up staying home with all these orders, all right, don't come to the office, and maybe you ended up picking up a new passion in the meantime, and then maybe you've actually found a way to possibly turn that into a source of income for yourselves. So that could be what's at play there. All right, in the environment position, we have the 9 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. So interesting energies here. This is actually Gemini energy, and this is Libra energy. I feel like this is probably the other person in the situation, whatever this is around, whether it be a romantic relationship, a work thing. But, I feel like there could be some anxiety there. And maybe this is someone where you did have a falling out in the past with that Three of Swords, right? And maybe, you might be over it and ready to move forward, but this person might still be stuck in their head on it, stuck in their head about it a little bit. That could be what's at play there. Maybe that's a bit of the blockage that you're experiencing right now with the situation. But with the Four of Swords, I do see that if they're not fully healed yet, they're pretty close. So it could just be saying that it could be a matter of time. I mean, if you look at it too, even if we look at the position and the spread, they're moving forward too, technically, right? I mean, they're sitting up, but the swords are still pointing to the future. Obviously, you representing the Knight of Cups there, moving to the future as well. So I feel like it could just be saying that they're close to putting it behind them, but not maybe 100% there. So you might have to have a little patience in that regard. And for some of you, this can represent your energy as well, where maybe you're the ones who went through that heartbreak energy with the Three of Swords. You're close, but not quite, right? And that's why I was saying that maybe even though that Chariot energy is there, that desire to move is there, you could just be really close to ready, but not quite, right? In the hopes or fears position, we have the Magician, the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. So quite a lot going on there. The Magician could just be pointing to, obviously, to the desire to manifest something. And if that's the case, it looks like you're looking for some movement. Again, like I said, I feel that energy with the Chariot as well. Maybe leaving some stagnant energy behind. And when we have that full moon, this represents the first 10 degrees of Pisces. When we have that full moon eclipse in Sag, Mars will actually be in these degrees in Pisces, and it's going to make a square aspect, so it could even be something that might be heavy on your mind around that time, given that, like I said, that will be a full moon in your house communication. And then finally getting that fresh start, right, with the Ace of Pentacles there. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So, could just be one of those things. This is Taurus energy for one. I want to point that out, but this could just be saying that maybe you just feel like things aren't moving as quickly as you like, and that's definitely a possibility. Like we said, we see the Chariot there. Your ruler is retrograde as we speak, and I think really, if I'm not mistaken, it's not going to be out of shadow until almost the end of July. So, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy road, possibly for some of you if you're in more of a hurry to get things started in some way, shape, or form. But this could just be saying that this is you, and then also keep in mind that having Mars moving through your 6th house as well could make you a little bit more critical of the progress that you're making too. So it could just be saying that you might have a bit more of a pessimistic view of how far you're getting too. So try to keep that in mind as well. All right, and at the bottom of the deck we have the Six of Swords. So another indicator that you're ready for some movement, more Aquarius energy. So this can definitely be an Aquarius that some of you might be dealing with, given that we see quite a bit of Aquarian energy there. Or again, like I said, this could just be one of those things where, you had Mars moving through Aquarius. You might have had all these great ideas of things you wanted to do, just couldn't quite physically do them with the restrictions, and now that they're lifting, you're able to do so. This could even just be saying that you might decide against maybe taking a big journey right now, right? Say, all right, let me just test the waters a little bit with maybe a small weekend getaway, right? Some kind of a road trip as opposed to an all-out international flight or something like that. So that could be what's at play there too. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. The first one we have is Message in a Bottle. There's the artwork, and the number is 15. Take a look at that. All right, well, went right to that page. Okay, so it says communication, a sign, a Clayton, which is the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. The oracle's message: Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today your message is this: Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. So definitely a pretty positive message there too. And I do like the fact that I mentioned that expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction, because I was emphasizing how I do see you guys moving forward, but maybe you're just not going to be happy with the progress that you're making, right? Maybe you feel like you should be moving a bit faster with that hangman energy. You might feel like, okay, I'm really, I'm trying to move forward, but it might feel like it's a very slow go. Could just be the energies at play, and like I say, you might feel that start to lift quite a bit when we get towards the end of July. All right. The relationship message says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. So interesting, I do have to say, I didn't really pick up a vibe of the person in the environment being in a position to actually reach out to you, even if they're thinking about it with that Nine of Swords and the Four of Swords energy. But could just be saying that if you guys were to reach out to them first, maybe you won't hear back right away. And maybe that's where you could feel some of that delay energy as well. But it does look like that's saying, and similar to what I was saying, as far as I feel like this is a person that's in the process of healing, but not quite fully there yet. So it could just say there that, you might not hear back from them right away, but eventually you will, and it'll probably be a positive response. So it could just be someone that needs a little more time. All right, and the prosperity message says you are on target with your purpose and your passion. You are coming into alignment with your destiny, and Spirit wants you to know that you're on the right track. Expect a call, a new opportunity, or a message from an old friend or business contact that will lead you closer to your dreams and greatest desires. Spirit has been listening to you. So definitely a pretty positive message there. Excuse me. And I will say that this could definitely be pointing to what I was saying there, that there could be some career opportunity for you guys with the Chariot card there. All right. Moving on to the next Oracle card, you guys have Electric Eel Spirit. It says, bring your ideas to life. There's the artwork, and the number is 24. So before we even look at that message, that makes me think of what I was saying, where maybe you had a lot of creative ideas as you had Mars moving through Aquarius, and now, like I said, with it moving into Pisces. Good thing about, Mars being in Pisces is that you could still have that creativity there, but given for you guys that is your 6th house, you might actually be ready to take action on it now. But let's see what the book says. All right, it says, seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of electric eel spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path, so do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come, for Spirit wants to shower you with the love, success, and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. So definitely another pretty positive message there as well, as far as you guys being able to move forward on some things. And like I said, if the ride's a little bumpy, expect that to probably clear up by, well, like I said, this month still might be a little bumpy, but maybe mid to late July, you might really start to see really positive, quick forward movement at that point. All right, last thing we have is a Mudra card, and the Mudra for you guys this month is the Bhramara Mudra. There it is there, and the keyword for it is harmony. Okay, and if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can. But as far as what it says, under benefits, it says improves the health of the lungs and large intestine, balances the immune system, particularly in cases of immune overreaction, reduces allergic reactions to food and pollen, soothes cough and irritated lungs. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of it in the description as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.